A leader is supposed to have a good level of confidence. Confidence. In fact, let me change that word. Boldness. You have to be bold as a leader. You have to be courageous to make decisions, to come up with policies, and to support policies. You have to have boldness, courage, confidence as a leader. So, but when you look around Africa, for instance, you will see that the leaders in Africa have boldness too. Confidence. Also, they're strong. They are strong. But one thing we do not know is the level of confidence and boldness, courage, how they apply those things. Are you bold to confront and impose things on the citizenry? Is that where your boldness is? Do you have courage to resist the press and resist popular demands? Do you have confidence and boldness to fight back when you are being corrected? That's what you see across Africa. But when you look around very well, you see that some policies that they articulate are not Afrocentric. And those things are not in the best interest of Africans. So, when they do not demonstrate courage and confidence and boldness in resisting those policies that run contrary to the well-being of Africans, you'll be wondering what kind of boldness and courage they have. Yes, they are bold. They can resist protests. They can resist correction from the press. In fact, they even across Africa oftentimes render the press impotent, as the press becomes just useless and powerless and good for nothing, because the press will become what we call praise singers. That's what they are. That shows you the amount of courage and boldness and confidence the leaders have. But we are saying that that kind of confidence and boldness is not taking us anywhere. African leaders, be bold to do things for your citizenry. I know that there are forces behind you that are making you do something that's contrary to the will of your people. Yeah, there are forces. We know, even in the spiritual segment of society, they describe some things as demonic, spiritual attack, spiritual oppression, and all that. They have those slangs and those languages and lingo and, and vocabulary. So it's not just going to be in the spiritual area alone. In our regular, contemporary, mundane lives, there are things behind us that make us do things the way we do those things. So when we do things that are contrary to the will or the well-being of our people, then there is a force. But what we don't know is if such a force is demonic or political or social, maybe economic. We just don't know. But there is a force behind you that gives you the audacity to do what you do. So, but if you have the audacity to do the will of the people you are supposed to be ruling, or leading, or representing, and supporting, or serving, whichever way you want to look at it, if you have the audacity to do it, then you are running counter to the will of those forces, those invisible forces that make you do the wrong thing, So we're talking about the boldness of a leader. You have to be bold. You have to be bold in making policies. And do you actually think about policies as a leader? And when you think about policies, what direction do you go in thinking about policies? Everything has a tangent. That's why mathematics is very, very important. Tangent. What is a tangent? So that's how you know when you veer off tangent, because there's going to be a tangent somewhere. So when you make a policy or pursue a policy, and with all the boldness and aggressiveness that you muster, we will see if you are off tangent or if you are on course. So what are we talking about? We are saying that you have to be bold, be courageous, say the things you need to say, and let those things be in the best interest of the people you are representing, the people you are serving. You have to represent them very, very well. Boldness is needed, courage, confidence, audacity. You got to have them. But the thing is, your heart has to be in the right place. Because if your heart is not in the right place, you have boldness, you have the courage to do nonsense. That's what you'll be doing. You have the audacity to do rubbish. You have the audacity to waste everybody's time, precious time, and just make a mess of whatever is in your hands. Yeah, you have audacity, you have the courage, you have confidence, you have boldness, yes. But when we evaluate your activities, we know and we see that you are going off tangent. You are going in the wrong direction. You have to be able to say what you mean and mean what you say. I mean, in leadership, that's what it is. In leadership, you got to say what you mean and don't worry about whose ox is God. Don't care about it. But as long as your heart is in the right place and you're doing the right thing, you don't have to worry about what people do, because you know that the majority of the people who see what you're doing will always resonate with you. Or on the other hand, what you are doing will resonate with the people. But if you have boldness and courage and you are doing nonsense, yeah, well, every day is for the thief. Of course, you know that before. You heard that. And one day is the owner. One day is for the owner of the house. Yes, that's the way we'll put it. Every day is for the thief, and one day is for the owner of the house. It's in the good book. So your boldness has to be applied to doing the right thing, meeting the needs of the right people. That's to say, your people. Your people, because after you've gone everywhere, you have to return to your people. And through your people, you will return to your ancestors. You cannot just be out there running around, making a mess of everything, and forgetting that you come from somewhere. As an African leader, you have to come back to your people. Yeah, because you have to go through your people to your ancestors and listen. Sometimes some leaders just forget that they have a place that they belong and they're returning to, which is very, very bad. That's very bad. So we must know that our boldness and our courage must be applied to doing the right thing and doing something for the people we are representing. People we are serving is serving. Honestly, I was going to talk about the leadership styles, but that's not today. One thing I must emphasize is that a leader is only a leader if that leader is serving. If you are a leader and you are not serving, you are not a leader. You are a stooge somewhere. So you must serve. If you're going to be a leader, you must serve. Serve. You gotta serve. That's how. And when you serve, serving brings boldness. Real service brings courage and audacity, because you know that you are not trampling on the rights of your people, and you know that you are not walking all over your people, you know that you are not taking your people for granted. So that's what serving does. If you are serving, you will be as bold as a lion, because you know that they are the people you are returning to. Especially these days that we're talking about the concept of recall. Recall, it exists. We will recall you. You think it's a joke. Every day is for the thief, and one day is for the owner of the house. We will recall you if we keep watching and you are not doing things that are appropriate to move your people forward, to improve their lives, improve their society. But you are bold. You can talk boldly. You can, use brute force to counter anything. And if you receive corrections from your people, you will fight against it. But you are just wasting your time, because across Africa, the people are generally very, very bold and strong. But sometimes when the people of Africa, within the hamlets, the villages, and the communities, when they keep quiet, they begin to look gullible. They begin to look like they are helpless. They've been washed up. That's what they will look like. But don't take that for granted, because when that day that is for the owner of the house comes, on that day there'll be no question. No question. Because everything will begin to unfold and unravel right there for everybody's eyes. That is why we are still asking you, if you are a leader, please lead. Lead. For goodness sake, lead. Because if you don't lead, then you are going to run yourself against muddy waters and murky waters and sandy, sinking sand and all that. But to lead, you got to serve. You got to serve. That's the way to live. Serve. In fact, as a matter of fact, who is your model in leading? Tell me, who is your model in leading? You got to have a model, role model in leading, because if you lead well, you will be someone else's role model in leadership. I'll tell you who my role model is. By action. Not by talking, but by action. My role model is the leader who stooped down and washed the feet of his followers, his subjects. So, listen, for you to wash anybody's feet, you have to be physically close. You are not afraid of being killed. But when you see a leader who is afraid of coming close to his people, that leader has a lot of skeletons in his cupboard. That's a simple fact. That's a simple fact. So, be a leader. I am urging African leaders here. Be a leader who can stoop and wash the feet of your people. Do it. Set an example. Remember, we even heard about, that was way back in the high school days, the English textbook has a little story about a man who was called Emperor Menelik of Ethiopia. Emperor Menelik of Ethiopia was a leader. He will wake up in the morning, shower, eat, take breakfast, and get out, and then go into the community on foot. He'll be walking in the community. He will see people who are working. If they are cleaning the road, he will join them to clean the road. If they are cleaning debris, he join them to clean debris. If they are raking, if they are cutting trees and limbs and trying to make the environment right, if they are digging the gutters, he will join them to do that. Are you that kind of leader? Emperor Menelik influenced me. Did he influence you? If he did not, who influenced you? Did Julius Caesar influence you? Tell me who influenced you. I want to know. Because for us to move Africa forward, we have to be leaders who will serve. If you do not serve, if you are afraid to serve, if you are not able to come to the level, come to terms with your people, come close to them and do something with them, not to do something for them from far away. Do something with your people. You are not a leader. I can say that a million times. You are not a leader if you are not able to come close to your people and do something with them. I'm urging you today to just consider serving as your form of leadership. Consider serving. Serve. I say serve. All right? Serve. That's how to be a leader, by serving. That's at least how we can move Africa forward. With boldness and courage, let your boldness and courage be applied to the things that matter to your people. Don't just be bold with aggressiveness and violence and rudeness and impunity against the people you're supposed to be representing. That is not how to lead. Borrow a leaf. Find a role model like I found and follow the examples. And then we can move Africa forward. When the people you're representing begin to be interested in what you're doing, begin to rally around you, and begin to support what you're saying, what you're doing, you are on your way to moving Africa forward. That's what we want to do. Do it, and you will not regret.